The sky above planet Zarin was dark and full of fire. The great war between humans and the Zarian Empire was reaching its end. Explosions shook the ground, and the air was filled with smoke and dust. The once beautiful planet was now a battlefield. In the middle of the fight, a young human soldier named Ryan Hale ran with his squad through the ruins of a broken city. Ryan was only 19 years old, the youngest in his unit. His heart was full of fear, but also hope. He wanted to protect his friends and his home. Ryan looked around. Zarian soldiers were closing in. They had strange, tall bodies and glowing eyes. They moved fast and were very strong. But humans had something the Zarians did not: courage and heart. "Keep moving," shouted Sergeant Malik, the leader of Ryan's squad. Malik was older, strong, and wise. He cared for his men like they were family. Ryan ran beside his best friend Lila. She was brave and smart. "Ryan, watch out," she shouted. A Zarian warrior jumped from behind a broken wall and aimed a strange weapon at them, without thinking. Ryan threw himself in front of Lila. The weapon fired, but Ryan caught the blast with his armored shield. The power slammed into him, throwing him to the ground. Pain burned through his body. "Ryan," Lila cried as she helped him up. Ryan gritted his teeth. He was hurt, but he was not done. "I'm fine," he said. "We have to keep moving." Suddenly, Ryan heard a soft voice calling for help nearby. It was strange soft, almost human. He looked around and saw a figure trapped under a fallen beam. It was an alien woman, but she did not look like a warrior. Her eyes were bright and filled with fear. Her clothes were torn, and her long hair was dirty. Ryan's training told him to stay away. This was the enemy. But something in her eyes stopped him. He ran to help her. With effort, Ryan lifted the heavy beam. The alien woman gasped and pulled herself free. She looked at him with surprise. "Thank you," she said softly, her voice trembling. Before Ryan could say anything, loud footsteps came closer. Zarian soldiers were coming to capture them. Ryan grabbed the alien woman's hand. "Come with me," he said. They ran through the ruins, hiding behind broken walls and fallen pillars. Ryan felt his heart pounding. He was risking everything by helping this alien. Finally, they stopped in a small clearing. The alien woman looked at him closely. "I am Kalira," she said. "I am the Princess of Zarian." Ryan was shocked. The princess? An enemy royal? And here in his hands? Kalira looked calm, but her eyes showed sadness. "You saved me," she said quietly. "For that, I owe you a debt." Ryan didn't know what to say. The war was supposed to be simple kill, or be killed. Now he saw something different. Suddenly the sound of battle grew louder. More Zarian soldiers appeared. Kalira stepped forward and raised her hand. "Stop," she called out in a clear voice. The soldiers froze. They looked at their princess, waiting. Kalira turned to Ryan and said loudly, "He belongs to me." There was silence. The Zarian soldiers lowered their weapons. Ryan looked at Kalira in surprise. "What does that mean?" he asked. Kalira smiled softly. "It means I claim him. He is under my protection," the other aliens murmured. Some looked angry, some confused, but they obeyed. Sergeant Malik and Ryan's squad came running into the clearing. They stopped, shocked to see the princess standing with Ryan. Kalira explained, "There is an ancient law in Zarian. If a royal is saved by someone, that person belongs to the royal. It cannot be harmed." Malik frowned. "This is strange. But if she says so, we will follow." Ryan felt mixed feelings. He was a soldier, but now a prisoner of the enemy. Come with me. You are safe. Ryan hesitated but nodded. He had no choice. They walked through the ruins toward a great ship waiting above. The ship was tall and shiny with lights that shone like stars. Inside, Kalira showed Ryan the palace. In space, it was beautiful and unlike anything he had seen before. Soft music played, and alien art decorated the walls. Ryan sat quietly, trying to understand everything. Kalira came to him and said, "I want peace, Ryan. The war must end." Ryan looked into her eyes. He saw honesty and hope. Maybe, just maybe, things could change. Suddenly, alarms blared. The Zarian Empire's War Council was meeting to decide what to do with Ryan. Kalira stood tall and said to the council, "This young man saved my life. He is under my protection. We will not hurt him." Some council members whispered angrily. They wanted revenge. Kalira turned to Ryan. "You will stay with me. You will learn our ways. Maybe you will help bring peace between our people." Ryan swallowed hard. He was scared but also curious. "Okay," he said quietly. "I will try." That night, Ryan looked at the stars from the palace window. He thought about Earth, his family, and the battle still raging below. He didn't know what the future held. But he knew one thing for sure. His life had changed forever. The palace of the Zarian Empire floated high above the burning planet below. Its tall towers and glowing lights made it look like a shining star in the dark sky. Inside the grand halls, many eyes watched Ryan Hale, the youngest human soldier. Now, under the watch of Princess Kalira, Ryan felt like a stranger in a strange land. The walls were decorated with strange symbols and colors he did not understand. The air smelled different, and the quiet hum of alien machines filled the rooms. He had never imagined that he would live among the Zarians. The very enemies he had fought against. Kalira stood beside him. Her expression was calm but firm. "You are safe here," she said softly. "I will protect you." Ryan looked into her eyes and saw truth there. She was not like the other Zarians he had seen in battle. She had kindness and a quiet strength. But not everyone in the palace felt the same. In the shadowy corridors, whispers filled the air. Some nobles saw Ryan as a threat. Others saw Kalira's kindness as weakness. The war had made them hard and bitter. One day, the High Council of Zarian gathered in the Grand Chamber. It was a place of power, where the rulers of the Empire met to make great decisions. Kalira stood before them with Ryan at her side. "I claim this man under the ancient law," she declared. "He saved my life, and now he belongs to me. Dama. Harm shall come to him." The room fell silent. The council members looked at each other with doubt. One tall alien with sharp eyes, Lord Varric, spoke first. "This is foolishness, Princess. He is our enemy. A human soldier is not to be trusted. We should use him to gain power or execute him." Kalira's voice did not shake. "We will not break the law, Lord Varric, and I will not start more war for my people." Lord Varric narrowed his eyes. "And if you refuse, Princess, will you stand against the council?" Kalira's gaze was strong. "If I must." The room was tense. Some members whispered quietly, fearing the princess's power. Others quietly supported her wish for peace. Ryan felt nervous. He was far from home and surrounded by aliens who did not trust him. That night, Kalira took Ryan to the palace gardens. Strange plants with glowing flowers surrounded them. The soft light made the place feel peaceful. "You must learn our ways," she said. "This world is very different from Earth." Ryan nodded. "Want to understand?" Kalira smiled. "Good. We will teach each other." Over the next days, Ryan learned about Zarian history and culture. He met scholars who spoke of the ancient peace that once existed before the war. Kalira told him stories of her childhood, the bright stars of Zarian, the music of her people, and the pain of losing family to war. Ryan shared stories from Earth about human hope, dreams, and courage. Slowly, Ryan and Kalira became friends. He saw the princess not as an enemy, but as a leader with a heavy heart. But outside the palace, the war did not stop. On the planet below, human forces waited. Unsure if Ryan was alive, Sergeant Malik, Ryan's best friend, led a team to find him. "We have to bring him home," Malik said firmly. "He's not a prisoner, he's family." Back in the palace, Ryan's presence caused unrest. Some alien soldiers resented him. Others were curious. One day Ryan was training with the palace guards. The guards were tall and fast, with weapons he had never seen. Ryan struggled to keep up, fell more than once, but he did not give up. Kalira watched him from the balcony, proud of his spirit. Suddenly the alarms rang through the palace. "Attack!" shouted a guard. "The rebels are moving." Kalira's face grew serious. The rebels were a group of Zarian nobles who wanted war to continue. They saw Kalira's peace efforts as a betrayal. Ryan and Kalira hurried to the command room. "The rebels want to kill me," Kalira said. They feared change. Ryan clenched his fists. "I will protect you." That night, Ryan stood guard. Outside Kalira's chambers, he heard footsteps in the dark. A shadow moved quickly. Ryan caught the figure. It was a rebel assassin. They fought fiercely. Ryan was hurt, but managed to stop the attack. Kalira thanked him with a quiet smile. "You are stronger than you look." The next day, Kalira met with the council again. She demanded peace talks with Earth. Lord Varric laughed coldly. "It will ruin us all, Princess." Kalira looked at Ryan. "We must try. For the future," Ryan agreed. "I will stand with you." Meanwhile, on Earth, the rescue mission moved closer to planet Zarin. Sergeant Malik and his team prepared to enter enemy space. "We cannot fail," Malik said. "Ryan is our hope." As the rescue ship approached, Ryan sent a secret message. "Don't come. We'll start more war." Malik hesitated but trusted Ryan. The rescue team stopped their attack back in the palace. Kalira and Ryan planned their next move. "We must unite our people," Kalira said. Ryan nodded. "We'll find a way." But far away, the rebel general prepared his army. He would stop at nothing to destroy Kalira and keep the war alive. Ryan and Kalira knew danger was coming, but together they were ready to fight for peace. The Zarian palace buzzed with quiet tension. After the failed assassination attempt, the threat to Princess Keliara was clearer than ever. The nobles who wanted war whispered behind closed doors. Their voices carried anger and fear. Fear of change, fear of losing power. Kalira knew the road ahead would be difficult. She looked out of the palace window, seeing the burning planet below. The war was not over. Not yet. Ryan Hale stood beside her. His young face showed determination and worry. "Kalira," Ryan said, "they want to kill you because you want peace. But they will fail." Kalira smiled softly. "I hope you are right, but we must be careful." Suddenly the palace doors opened with a loud bang. Soldiers rushed in, their armor clinking. Princess Kalira, a messenger, said urgently, "Rebel forces are gathering outside the city walls. They plan to attack tonight." Kalira nodded. "Prepare the guards. We will defend our home." Ryan and the palace guards hurried to the walls. The night was dark, with cold wind blowing dust through the streets. From the distance, the rebels advanced, armored and ready for battle. Ryan's heart pounded. This was the moment of truth. "Stay close," Kalira whispered. "We fight for peace." The battle was fierce. Swords clashed and strange energy weapons fired into the night. Ryan fought beside Kalira's guards. He moved quickly, protecting the princess from danger. Suddenly, a sharp cry came from behind. Ryan turned to see a rebel soldier aiming a weapon at Kalira without thinking. Ryan jumped forward and blocked the attack. The blast hit his shoulder. Sending him to the ground, Kalira rushed to him. "Ryan, are you hurt?" Ryan smiled weakly. "I'm okay. You're safe." The rebels were pushed back, but the battle was far from over. After the fight, Kalira and Ryan returned to the palace. The princess's face was pale but determined. "We cannot keep fighting like this," she said. "The rebels want to destroy everything." Ryan nodded. "We need to find a way to stop them." Meanwhile, far away from the palace, Sergeant Malik and his team continued their mission. They had stopped the rescue attack after Ryan's message, but now they were unsure what to do. "We must find Ryan," Malik said, "and stop this war." Using secret signals, Malik's team found a small group of alien rebels who believed in peace. These rebels were tired of bloodshed and wanted to help. Kale-Ira, Malik made contact with them and arranged a meeting. Back in the palace, Kalira welcomed Malik and the rebels. "This is a dangerous alliance," Kalira said, "but it may be our only hope." Ryan shook hands with Malik. "We fight together." Days passed, and Ryan, Kalira, Malik, and the rebels planned their next move. They would seek peace talks between humans and Xerians. But danger lurked. Lord Varric, the rebel general, was gathering his own army. He was angry at Kalira's peace efforts and wanted to rule the Empire himself. One night, Ryan heard strange noises outside his room. He looked through the window and saw shadowy figures moving toward the palace. Quickly, he alerted the guards. An attack was coming. Ryan and Kalira prepared for battle. When the rebels stormed the palace, the fight was brutal. Ryan led the defense. Using everything he had learned from humans and Xerians, he fought with courage and skill, protecting Kalira and the loyal guards. But the rebels were strong. Kalira was captured during the chaos. Ryan was heartbroken, determined to save her. Ryan escaped the palace with Malik and a few rebels who stayed loyal. They fled into the wild desert of Zarin. The desert was harsh and full of dangers, strong winds, strange creatures, and hidden traps. Ryan had never been so far from safety, but he knew they had to survive to save Kale-Ira and bring peace. As they traveled, Ren learned more about Xerian's land and people. He saw how war had hurt the planet and its creatures. Kale-Ira's dream of peace became clearer to him. But the rebel general was close behind. Ryan and his small group hid in caves and old ruins. Always moving, they sent secret messages to Earth. Asking for help, Malik prepared to lead a rescue mission. Ryan thought about his family back home and the war he left behind. He missed Earth, but knew he had a new mission now. One night, under the cold stars, Kalira spoke to Ryan. "Thank you for saving me," she said softly. Ryan smiled. "I will always protect you." They knew the road ahead was dangerous, but together, they were strong. Together they hoped to end the war and build a new future. The desert of planet Zarin was vast and harsh. The sun beat down mercilessly during the day, turning the sand into a burning sea of gold. At night, the cold crept in, chilling everything. Strange creatures moved in the shadows and the wind whispered secrets that few dared to hear. Ryan Hale, Princess Kalira, Sergeant Malik, and their small group of allies were now far from the safety of the palace. They had escaped the rebel attack, but their fight was far from over. The desert was unforgiving, but it also held the truth of the planet. As they walked, Ryan looked around with new eyes. The land was scarred by war, broken rocks, dried rivers. In ruined cities buried under sand, Kalira's face was serious but calm. "This desert is where Xerian's history is written," she said. "Oh, here the strongest survive, but the wise also learn." Ryan nodded. "I never knew this place was so important." Malik adjusted his gear and scanned the horizon. "Need shelter and supplies. The rebels will be hunting us." Suddenly, a figure appeared on the dunes ahead. A tall alien with worn clothes and kind eyes stepped forward. "Who are you?" Ryan asked, hand on his weapon. The alien smiled gently. "I'm Eric. I lead the desert rebels, those who refuse to fight." Kalira stepped forward. "We seek peace, Eric. Will you help us?" Eric nodded. "Many Xerians are tired of war. We have hidden here, waiting for a chance to rebuild." Ryan felt hope rise in his chest. Maybe peace was possible. For days, Eric and his rebels taught them how to survive the desert. They shared food, water, and stories. Ryan learned to move silently, to read the stars, and to trust the desert's secrets. Kalira found new strength among the rebels. She was no longer just a princess. She was a leader of a new cause. 1. Evening around a campfire, Ryan asked Arik, "Why do you fight the Empire if you want peace?" Arik looked into the flames. "Because the Empire's leaders want power, not peace. They use war to control us." Malik nodded. "We see the same in our world. But maybe together we can change that." Ryan felt the weight of his mission. He was no longer just a soldier, he was a bridge between two worlds. Days passed. Malik's rescue team finally arrived, landing quietly in the desert near their camp. Ryan was torn. He wanted to go home, but he also wanted to stay and help Kalira. When Malik found him, Ryan said, "I can't leave her. Not yet." Malik understood. "Then we fight together." But the rebel general was closing in. His army marched across the desert, destroying everything in its path. The final battle was coming. Kalira and Ryan prepared their forces. The rebels, humans and loyal Zerians, stood side by side. Ryan looked at the stars. "This is our last chance." Kalira smiled. "For peace." As the sun rose, the armies met on the open sands. The battle was fierce and loud. Sand flew everywhere, and the cries of warriors filled the air. Ryan fought bravely. Leading the mixed force with skill, Kalira faced the rebel general in a one-on-one challenge. The two leaders circled each other, weapons ready. But Kalira did not want to kill. Instead, she spoke words that surprised everyone. "Stop this war," she said. "It can be better than this." The rebel general laughed. "A war?" Weak. Kalira stepped forward and lowered her weapon. "Strength is mercy," she said. The general paused, seeing the truth in her eyes. Slowly, he lowered his own weapon. The battle ended in silence. Kalira raised her hand. "Let this be the day. Peace begins." Ryan stood beside her, proud and hopeful. The desert was still, but a new light shone, the light of a new future. The early morning sun rose over the desert plains of planet Zarin. The quiet was heavy, as if the land itself held its breath. After the fierce battle the day before, the air was thick with tension. Both sides watched carefully, waiting for what would come next. Ryan Hale stood tall beside Princess Kalira. Together, they faced the leaders of the Zarian rebels and the human forces. This was the moment that would decide the future of two worlds. The rebel general, a fierce man with cold eyes, stepped forward. His army was still behind him, waiting. For his command, Kalira spoke first. "This war has cost us too much. Too many lives lost. Too many dreams destroyed. But today, we have a chance to change." Ryan looked at the soldiers around him, humans and Zerians alike. They were tired of fighting.
Allies.
They wanted peace. The rebel general sneered. "Peace is a lie. Power is what matters. And I will take that power." Kalira's eyes burned with fire. "Then you will lose. Because strength is not in war, but in mercy." She stepped forward and challenged the general to the ancient Zarian duel, a test of honor and will. The general accepted, confident he would win. The two fought under the burning sun. Their weapons clashed with sparks. The crowd watched silently, breathless. But Kalira did not fight to kill. Instead, she used her skill to disarm the general without harm. She held her weapon to his chest and said, "Lay down your arms. Join us in peace." The general hesitated, then slowly lowered his weapon. The crowd gasped. Ryan stepped forward and helped the general to his feet. "Together, we can rebuild," Ryan said. The rebel general looked at Kalira and Ryan. Something changed in his eyes. Respect. Back at the Zarian palace, grand ceremony was held. Leaders from Earth and Zarian stood together, signing a treaty of peace. Kalira and Ryan stood side by side. Their journey from enemies to allies was a symbol of hope. Kalira smiled at Ryan and said, "He once belonged to me. Now together, we belong to peace." Ryan laughed softly, "And I belong to both our worlds." The crowd cheered for the first time in many years. Humans and Zerians looked toward the future with hope. Ryan and Kalira knew the road ahead would not be easy, but they would face it together. as the stars shone brightly above. Two worlds began a new chapter, one of friendship, trust, and peace.